Lucas from Atolls, a trippy taco, having dinner. Now Lucas, I feel like this kind of scene that people refer to in reference to Geelong, coastal areas, having this surfy, garagey sound, is really just an easy way of grouping bands together that actually have quite disparate sounds. I think maybe in your instance, given the other projects with which you're involved, in Gizzard for instance, it's very easy for people to think of Atolls as an extension of that, whereas in fact, the sound is quite different altogether. What do you think?
They're all going to be distinctly different, but we're pretty much all from the same place. We're playing in the same pub and stuff like that.
Hallmark of yourself and your friends whom you've referred to there is that you're all very prolific. You sort of churn out EPs and singles and albums even at a rate which is really not comparable to anyone else in the country, apart from maybe part of the Perth kind of scene with like the psychedelic bands up there. Is there kind of a culture of churning out material as opposed to like pontificating and thinking about stuff too much?
With Atolls, I want to do that, but I feel like I don't write fast enough. I feel like I'm a bit of a perfectionist, especially with production and stuff, but a little bit about like trying to build hype and like make something new. Just recording and getting as much new stuff out as you can, just to try to make it seem a bit exciting, I guess.
Now you will have observed, Lucas, that my initial question was pertaining to the fact that journalists just do it because it's easy, sort of making this scene, and now all the questions that have come subsequent to that have been about the scene. You'll notice the irony there. And the final observation I would make about that is that I think there's also a sort of aesthetic, stylistic concern with not being concerned with that side of stuff, kind of
in production or
not in terms of the music, but in terms of like the image or lack thereof. It's almost like an anti-image, so that there's
like a DIY kind of thing, I guess. Like,
kind of like very like the film clips all look like they've been shot on like VHS cameras and like hastily edited and like lots of glitches and stuff like that. All the press photos I've seen are pretty much the same. Do you feel like that is an undercurrent as well?
Definitely, it's part of the image, and it just comes out of necessity as well. You want to get stuff out, you want new film clips, photos, and you just do that with the resources you've got.
In terms of the stuff that you make, Atolls is certainly the most 90s of it. You can really hear the 90s melodies, even some of the production, and certainly the guitars. It is a bit sort of grunge influenced.
Yeah.
But most of all, I feel like it's very, like there's a real pop sensibility as well. Are you an admirer of more conventional pop music as well?
When we first released a few songs, we were getting compared a lot to Dinosaur Jr., who I haven't listened to a lot. But since I've got very into them and just love how it's just like, I don't know, such sludgy, guitar heavy music, that Jay's voice is just so delicate and kind of pretty sitting on top of that. And I don't know, I listen to a lot of such a variety of music, but I always try to focus on a good melody, something memorable, and it's nice. I've been singing falsetto a lot just because I think it's pretty.
And in terms of the residency you've got coming up, I know you're playing at Workers Club in June on what nights?
Wednesdays in June.
Wednesdays in June. Now, I can't recall all of the supporting acts you've got playing there.
First week we've got Jared Brown from Eagle and the Worm doing a solo set.
I mean, it does sound good, but you're not really talking about the band that I was kind of wanting you to talk
week
about.
After that we've got Contrast.
Can you go the week? Who's after that?
We've got Flying Colours last week.
Funny you mentioned Flying Colours because...
You have something prepared or something?
Well, I've got quite a bit prepared. I'm actually writing a book about Flying Colours. Flying Colours, of course, being a local shoegaze band.
Two Y's.
Who have released one song. Been playing a little bit around Melbourne, and I've just been drafting a little novel, I suppose. It's kind of anecdotal from my perspective, my experiences of Flying Colours, and I was hoping you could maybe just read a quick extract, if you wouldn't mind, just about Flying Colours. So just from the top, you don't need to read all, I mean, this would take weeks, so just go from there,
Last night I saw Flying Colours. I like their shoe blaze.
I didn't know how to spell shoegaze, so
I like their shoegaze music, and I think they are fun to see live. And I go to all of their shows by myself and stare at the band members. After the shows, I wait outside to say well done to the band, but I get scared and say nothing and just stare even more, even in my car when they are in their cars on their way home.